You should pull the fucking trigger.
Pull the trigger. Ain't nobody gonna do for you.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Big Swarzarelli in the house. I'm out in the park, chilling. It's nice out. It's a little hot, but decided to come out here and do a video and shit, chill out. We'll talk about wrestling, man. I love this shit, man. Been watching wrestling since as long as I can remember, man. And one thing I always liked about wrestling was tag teams, which now almost non-existent, man. Tag team wrestling now is a joke. But I'm gonna give my opinion on the top 20 tag teams in wrestling history, not just WWE/WWF history, but dudes that I think were the shit. So we'll start off at number 20. And I'm gonna have to give number 20 to Nikolai Volkov and the Iron Sheik. Back in the 80s, it wasn't no bad guys meaner and more hated than Nikolai Volkov and the Iron Sheik. Put them together, they ran shit, man. They're waving their flags around of their countries. And when they came into the arena, man, people just started going, USA, USA, USA. So yeah, man, Nikolai Volkov and the Iron Sheik, man, they held the titles for a while. They had Classy Freddie Blassie as their manager, and it was a good thing, man. It was a good combo, man. He got them over well. And yeah, Nikolai Volkov and the Iron Sheik, man, they were a classic bad guy team. So number 19, I'm going to have to go with Terry and Dory Funk Jr., man. If you don't know about the Funks, well, if you only know about Terry Funk, the hardcore legend Terry Funk, you're missing out. I mean, you know, he was great when he was running around in his little striped pants and shit, getting his ass beat. But back in the 70s and 80s, man, Dory and Terry Funk were an ill tag team. They were both NWA heavyweight champions. They made a name for themselves before they even teamed up. Then when they teamed up, they used to have legendary matches with the Briscoes. They were pretty awesome, man. You know, they learned from their father, Dory Funk. And they were just some tough bastards up in the ring. You know what I mean? You couldn't fuck with the Funks. You can't funk with Funk. You can't fuck with Funk. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go with number 19 as Dory and Terry Funk, man. They used to. That's when kayfabe was still alive, man. You know what I mean? When people were still guessing that wrestling was fake, but they were an awesome tag team. Number 18, Demolition. Obvious Road Warrior ripoffs. Tough guys, face paint, Metal Gear. But they were pretty intense in the ring, man. They got down, man. You know what I'm saying? Axe and Smash kicked ass. And then they added Crush to the mix. And they became like, you know, the new day-ish three-man. You know, any two can defend the belt. And I mean, when they were heels with Mr. Fuji, you know what I'm saying? They were awesome. Mr. Fuji helped them cheat a little bit. Even when they was faces, they still kick ass with the same intensity. So I'm gonna have to say that Demolition is a good team, and they had a great feud with the Brain Busters, man. We'll talk about them later. But yeah, They had a good feud with the Brain Busters, man. I remember vividly. It was a good. They were a good team. So number 18 is definitely Demolition, man. Even though, like I said, they were foreshadowed by the Legion of Doom, they were WWE's attempt to capitalize on Road Warrior fame. You know what I'm saying? And I have to give them credit, man. Demolition kicked ass, man. They did. And I wasn't a big WWE fan back then when there was territories. I was more of an NWA, Mid-South, WCW dude, but you know, I did watch WWE and I was always impressed. So 18 Demolition. Awesome team. All right. Number 17. Number 17. I'm going to have to go with the Russian team. And when I say the Russian team, I wonder if any of y'all can guess who I'm talking about. I'm talking about Ivan and Nikita Koloff with Crusher Khrushchev. They were like one of those I hate you automatically teams if you didn't like heels. I always rooted for the heel. My whole life as a kid, I always rooted for the heel. I never was into the faces. But they were automatically I hate you type of team, man, with the Russian gimmick, you know what I'm saying? Straight out of the vein of Ivan and Nikita, of Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov, you know what I'm saying? And they were in the NWA, man. They were a force to be reckoned with, man. They held the 6-man tag team titles. It was like theirs, you know what I mean? They always were the 6-man tag team champions. Nikita and Uncle Ivan, you know what I'm saying, were tag champions a lot, and they went up against the Road Warriors a lot. That was their main opponents. And I mean, Crusher Khrushchev and Nikita Koloff were a monster team together. I mean, Ivan was a little shorter, he wasn't, but I mean, them two against the Road Warriors was always something to see. So yeah, man, definitely the Russians. Nikita Koloff, a monster. Crusher Khrushchev. Crusher Khrushchev was that. He was like the Buddy Rogers of that team. You know what I'm saying? You know, you had the personality, which was Ivan. You know, you had the strength guy, which was Nikita, and then you had Crusher Khrushchev just to fill that void. You know what I mean? He could have been, you know, any big guy could have been Crusher Khrushchev, but he was on that team. So yeah, number 18 or the, well, I'm so fucking high. I think it's 17. 18. Well, when I say the next team, I don't know where the fuck I'm at. But kids don't smoke weed. The Russians. All right, number 16. I got my place back, by the way. 16. I'm gonna have to say Rock and Roll Express. Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson, that incarnation of the team. Very popular, man. They make the crowd pop, man. You know what I'm saying? They fought every team. They weren't big, muscular motherfuckers, man. They were just like two regular dudes, man, with a mullet, with mullets that like to fight, man. And you know, they never backed down from any teams, man. They had a lot of good feuds, especially with the Midnight Express. Midnight Express, man, like, and the Rock and Roll Express had some of the greatest matches in wrestling history, man. Like, that's one of the greatest feuds, you know what I'm saying? Like, what can I say, man? Like, you know, Ricky Morton was the personality. You know what I'm saying? But you know, Robert Gibson, he wasn't the most charismatic motherfucker, but they made a good team, man. You know what I mean? They made it work. You know? And they also had great, oh man, that was a good tour. They also had great matches with Rick Rude and Manny Fernandez. If y'all remember those matches, man, this motherfucker. But they had great matches, man. So number 16, Rock and Roll Express. All day, the belt was in and out of their hands the whole time they were active. Can't front on the Rock and Roll Express. 16.